you don't have to have the 80 average. You do not have to have an 80 average to go to college.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it because people need to hear it. You can have a 70, a school will take you. You will go to college even with a 70 average and not a high SAT score. You can go to college. So, you know, those are the things that, you know, students need to hear, and they don't think about it until, like you said, until that senior year when they're like, oh shit, you know, I heard I had to do this college application. Now what? I can't go with my friend who did study, although I thought he was just playing Madden with me all day online. And now he's the one with the 95 average, and he actually got over 1,200 on his SAT score. So now I can't go with my best friend off to Syracuse. Like, it's like, no, but you can still go to college. Like, let's talk about that. Absolutely. You know?
Guys, stay in school. Stay in school. Welcome to the new school year.
Yes.
Skittles students, be kind to Skittles. Be kind to Skittles this year. All right, Venesia, we're going to go into our Dame Luz section where you give me and Skittles insight on something. Skittles, what is V going to give us loose on this week?
Tell us what it's like to be married.
Me and Skittles have been to a couple weddings this year. And, and we are kind of like,
getting married at
are
this
we
age.
behind? Is it okay that we're not married when we have our wedding? Are we going to do a cake? Or are we going to do cupcakes? Are we going to do open bar or not? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're stuck in these limbos. But really, what is marriage? Because obviously we grew up with our parents that had, you know, a very different view of marriage and, just a different generation. But like, as someone who is closer to our age and it has been married for quite some time, and isn't one of our freshly married friends, what is marriage really like, especially in this day and age?
All right. So I've been married. I'm going to be married 8 years, October 1st. So shout out to my husband, Chad. We met in college. I feel like at this point, marriage is like puberty.
Say more on that. What do you mean?
So, like,
I don't know if I want to get married if it's like puberty. I don't know.
And I'm talking about like, there you go, right? Marriage, see, the relationship is the cute shit, right? You keep your shit waxed and you make sure your hair's done and you make sure that you're saying all the nice things. You're not crossing boundaries, because even though you've been together for a very long time, there's still certain boundaries you don't want to cross.
I guess that's why I'm not.
And then married. You know, when you get the ring and she, or, you know, whatever your preferred gender is, gets down on one knee and say, hey, let's get married. That's what the jitters come from. It's like, oh shit, I'm about to go through puberty again, aren't I? And then it's like, no, it's going to be okay. And you go in very excited. And then all of a sudden you wake up every morning, you start noticing shit that didn't bother you before that all of a sudden start bothering you. And you're like, shit. Like, why does he keep on doing that?
What is this hair in this place?
Exactly. And that's why, like, and I've had this conversation with Chad, so I'm not speaking like, and he doesn't know
it's all
that
right.
I'm
We
saying
get it.
it.
Full disclosure, she loves her husband, whatever.
But, you know, we talk about this shit because we're like, do you remember when we were dating? Shit was great. Like, what the fuck happened? And it's usually because it's like puberty. It's like, you know, you have to go through it because you're growing in a different stage with that person now. So, like, if you get married in your 20s, mid-20s, or even late 20s, you're about to enter your 30s. So now already your body is already changing. I mean, I'm talking from a woman's aspect, like your body is already changing. That bitch is ready to just be whatever it wants to be. And sometimes the man is like, what the fuck is happening? This feels like puberty. Why is she no longer? Exactly. Why is she not waxing anymore? Like, I thought this was going to keep on going. And it's like little shit like that. So for me, marriage is like puberty is not a bad thing, but it takes getting used to after you pass that little, you know, honeymoon
phase.
Right.
Yeah. So what... Now they're like, you know, relationship dynamics, like being in a poly relationship, open relationships, things like that. Do you think that people can have successful marriages and still have open like sex lines outside of the marriage?
Well, I do a lot of reading, and, you know, again, as I've
I'm preparing to hear a no here.
as I age,
me too.
it is a no, like
For
in my
you.
current situation. But what I'm saying is, like, I've read books. Like I said, you're going through changes. So as I've read on, I mean, I feel like this generation is going to be that fluid generation. Like, hey, chill out. It was one time. And then okay.
Let me tell you
What
something.
you trying to say about us?
No. I'm not saying your
Like-
generation. I'm just saying the more current generation.
I have friends that are in poly relationships, and
Right.
stuff like that. Like I get it.
Because, you know, the whole DM situation, like, come on, if you're getting hit up in the DMs, like, that didn't exist when I was dating.
Listen,
like, there was no DM. It was like you either got caught in the street or your friend Felicia called you like, bitch, I see your man on the street.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, there was no DM. There was no bitch on the side sliding into the DM saying, hey, boo, what's up? When we going to get
That's
this
right.
on? So it's difficult.
Our niggas was better protected. Now we out here got bitches coming from mad directions. Not, you know,
Exactly.
like, no.
Now that friend who would have called you is the one DMing him, and that's the issue with the DM.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? Because it be
Yeah, it's true. No, it is true.
so.
it is. It's
so
very
you know,
true.
like, I just feel
Skittles is having a blast right now. But yeah, no, it's true. No, that's actually absolutely true. There are a lot more challenges in a marriage and social media. So actually, that's a great question. How does social media play a role in marriages? Not necessarily yours personally, but like I know you have married friends too, right?
Right. So I mean, it's about building boundaries too. Like, you know, shit is always gonna happen. Shit is gonna happen. I'm not, you know, and I'm not speaking from personal experience. It's just more so like you need to build boundaries. I tell females especially, because I'm going through certain changes myself as a woman every time. You gotta know yourself, because even marriage is really the process of you getting to know you on that level, right? You're getting to know the married version of yourself. And whoever that is, whether it's the person who can't stay out of the DMs because it just so happened to be so hooked on it that you rather hide it from your significant other, build boundaries, you know, if you can be transparent, be transparent. There's some motherfuckers who just not transparent. They rather keep it a secret because they feel like they live off of the theory what you don't know won't hurt you. Because they, you know, and then there's some people who are more traditional. They don't want to see their man having no female friends. They don't want to see their man's going to the strip club. They don't want to see them doing anything. Yeah. And there's others who just don't give a fuck because they're probably doing the same shit he's doing anyway. Yeah. So, you know, it's very hard to tell. And I say, if you build the boundary, then you're letting that person know up front, like, yo, listen, I know this dude or this girl's hitting you up. I see what's happening. I'm not stupid. I got my own followers as well. Just be careful. And if you're doing something, then this is my deal breaker. Or if it's not your deal breaker, you should be more like, well, tell me when you fuck that bitch. Yeah. So I can know not to, you know what I'm saying? And there's some people who have it that fluid where it's like.
Some people like to spice things up. Some people like to include a third or fourth. Exactly. Some people be in NYCHA in the back with the in the back.
Exactly. So, I mean, I think it's up to the person, up to the two. Communication is key. Everyone says it like a broken record. In marriage, communication. But it really is, because.
In any relationship, really.
In any relationship. But just marriage specifically, because usually when people are getting married, they're not only investing emotionally, they're investing monetarily. Right. And sometimes that becomes a sticky situation, because as much as we act that it's all about the love, when a divorce comes along, a lot of people start counting their coins and start saying, well, this nigga ain't gonna get the rights to my podcast because I built that shit on myself.
Bitches better be ready to sign prenups with my ass.
You know, the whole prenup agreement and all of that came from that. Like, you know, also women feeling like, nigga, I built this shit, so
you ain't getting it.
You ain't getting it, you know? And vice versa for men. Like, you know, you didn't give me 3 kids, so I'm not going to give you the whole alimony. How about that? So, you know, there's all these different...
Petty.
Petty. Just petty shit. It is petty. But, you know, we as humans, we protect ourselves, right? So this is why I said it. Marriage is like puberty. Relationships is your journey of really you. You're treating yourself. If you're treating yourself how you want to be treated, even if your partner may do it, and I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, every relationship.
Cheating isn't your fault.
Exactly.
No matter how much people
so
try to
if you treating yourself the way you want to be treated, one, it makes it easier for you to remove yourself from situations that you feel no longer serve you, because that does happen. Right. You know, and then 2, it also keeps you clear in the situation. Being unclear is the scary part. And every female female at times, and I'm speaking from females' perspective because I'm in that type of relationship, that sometimes we get lost in the whole concept of what society identifies a good wife to be. You came home from work, but did you cook? You came home from work, but did you cook, clean the kids, sweep up and keep the house all tidied up?
Right.
You came home, but did you get your degree, and do you make as much as, so it's the added pressures of what society expects, the gender norms that kind of fucks certain shit up. When you see some women now, and I at times try to shy an eye away when I see like these videos on Instagram of the wives like acting what they want to portray them as crazy, because they're probably in their head, they're like, I'm doing all this shit and this motherfucker's sitting over here talking about he's gonna go see, he has multiple females all around him, and I'm at work from 9 to 5 thinking he's doing what he's supposed to do or taking care of what he's supposed to take care of.
And he's in the back of the projects with the nitrous
with the nitrous. You know what I'm saying? So, it's shit like that turns certain women into like what you see on Instagram. They look crazy, they look wild, and that's why, we need to do better. Like, if the future is female, us females need to start really being real with each other. Like, yo, you shouldn't be in that situation, sis. Do better. That dude go. Let that dude go. Let me help you.
We do and this is we can go down this rabbit hole, but we won't. Of course. But culturally, especially growing up in the Latin culture, you see a lot of women taking a lot of beatings for their men or from their men, literally and both metaphorically. There's just a way in which we're taught to take it. With anything, whatever the situation is, and that if we can't stand by our man, then we're nobody. Not good.
Yeah,
then we're not good
nobody.
Wives.
And that's why you gotta. There was a quick meme that I sent out to a couple of people. Don't fight over your man. Drop him and just buy yourself a cheesecake. That's worth fighting for. Okay.
A good piece of cheesecake, man.
I will fight a bitch for cheesecake.
All right. Well, thank you, Venesia, for being on this episode with us. It was a pleasure. Where can we find you?
Well, you can hit me up in my Instagram. It's Venesia, VENESIACH. And that is my Instagram. You can hit me up. Don't DM me, please.
She's married, and
not
you don't
I'm
want Chad
married,
to come
but
for you.
Don't DM me. Just hit me up, and I'll connect with you. If you know anyone, real quick, shameless plug. I work for adult learning center, where if you know anyone who needs their GD, who wants to get Microsoft certification, we do it by income eligibility, and you can have them hit me up. I work at the SUNY North Bronx Center right off of White Plains Road between Allerton and Burke, and I'll be there. And if you need some college access help, whether you're going for your master's, PhD, whatever, I can do it. Come on, come see me.
There you go. See me. And you can find us, me at Julissa and Skittles. At
the real Skittles,
the real
with a Z.
Skittle with the Z, and both of us at Ladies Who Bronche on Instagram, Facebook, at Ladies Bronche on Twitter. We're on Apple, iTunes. We are on Google Play. We are on SoundCloud, and we're working on that Spotify spot right now too. Follow us. Have a great week, and until next time, Bronche.